Hello. It's been few days. I haven't given any talks. And this kind of talks requires a right mood or right energy or right feeling or desire or environment or situation or naturally acceptable or natural. I think I choose the word natural. So everything has to be natural in order for me to give you this talk. You see, I cannot force it out. I cannot say today I'm going to give you this talk and this happens. You see, this does not happen every day. You see, this does not happen when I want to. You see, this happens when it wants it. And this type of talk may kind of scare you when I say it, like something else is possessing me and giving this talk. It's not like that. It's not like demon thing possessing me to give you this talk or anything possessing me. It's not that. See, it's just the connection that I have with this or the existence, that I am one. I am never separate. You see, and there is no separation between this being and anything else at this moment. And everything this being possess, all the cells in the body and everything in the body that possess, and all the memory that is already conditioned here through the childhood and upbringing in youth and young man, and all this process is already there. So I cannot separate myself and say I am awakened now that I go live in a mountain. You see that this does not work like that. And I cannot say that, well, I am awakened now, I'm going to go awake everyone else. You see, this does not work like that. It does not happen like that. See, when this being is awakened, it simply points everyone to the awakening. You see, that you are already awakened. You see, so everyone is already awakened, but something is blocking you to see that. And this being right here, it points to that you are already awakened. You see, this is all this being, this energy is doing to that. And I cannot separate myself from all the things that is happening, that is already conditioned. Like I cannot stop singing. I didn't sing for many years, and all of a sudden, all this singing appeared. Even song appeared in my dream, and I wrote down song in my dream and put a music within 5 minutes, and the song became song. And after that, I wrote 7 songs in an album. You see, this condition is there, and it pops up at the certain time, certain energy, certain environment, certain situation. This all happens. It's the dynamics of the universe that is doing that. Just like the wave in the ocean, sometimes there's a tide, sometimes there's a hurricane, sometimes there's a big tide, sometimes there's small tides. This is all happening spontaneously. Universe is doing that, and this being is just going with the flow. So at this moment, this talk, what I call, or some people may call this as the satsang, is a true association. There is nothing to hide here in this being. This is just expressing naturally without any contamination of the thought. You see, the thought is not contaminating this. This energy is expressing naturally. And I cannot separate myself or separate this being to the condition this being has. This is all one unitary movement, you see. So this being goes to work. This being is a family man. This being sings a song sometime. This being does, writes a poetry, gives poetry in the coffee shop, or gives satsang talks in different places, as well as in this modus operandi. So whatever this does, this is happening spontaneously. There is this energy expressing here. So in this process, there is no desire here to get anything out of this talk, except this is expressing. You see, when the tides come on the ocean, if there is a person witnessing the tide, that person may get intrigued by it, may get relaxation out of the tide, may get enjoyment out of the tide, or may completely ignore this. Same thing, this tide is arising out of nowhere, and this tide is expressing all this energy through this voice, through this being, and this is enjoyment to some, this is relaxing to some, this is enjoyment to some, relaxing to some, or some of you may totally ignore this as this is nothing, just like tide comes and goes. You see? So that's all I want to say today.